We are the anchors of Queer News Tonight, and this evening we discuss the queer headlines. HOTspots magazine celebrates 40 years with a new issue covering Miami Beach Pride, Alan Cummings' interview, Disney on Ice, and much more.
Books featuring LGBTQ+ individuals, immigrants, and people of color were thrown away outside a Staten Island school, sparking censorship concerns.
Transform the Vote rally on National Mall on March 31st, led by Queer Equity Institute and NCTE, aims to boost transgender visibility and political engagement.
Toon Paul's Drag Race brings iconic animated characters to life in a TikTok parody series showcasing their transformation into drag royalty. I wonder what Mama Ru thinks.
Safety matters for LGBTQ+ travelers. Explore LGBTQ+ friendly cities like Burlington, Asheville, Seattle, Atlanta, Chicago, the Florida Keys, and more. Get the entire list tonight.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first and only LGBTQ+ daily evening television news, broadcasting live and available on demand. Available on all smart televisions, including Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, Amazon Fire TV, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. It's time to queer up the news for Tuesday, March 26, 2024. We are live and literally out of the closet and into the headlines. So many of your important stories we are going to tell this evening on Queer News Tonight.
This is the world's first live daily LGBTQ evening news show, literally out of the closet and into the headlines on Queer News Tonight.
This is the world's first and only unedited live LGBTQ+ evening news show. Whatever happens, unique in LGBTQ+ news, you will see it and hear it.
HOTspots magazine, Happening Out Television Network, is a nonprofit 501c3 media company in the same model of PBS and NPR, but designed for the LGBTQ+ community. Our mission is to support the 11 pillars of our LGBTQ+ community. We want to inform and educate the key issues of our queer culture, the Black community, Latino, lesbians and queer women, trans, students, youth, seniors, HIV/AIDS healthcare, business, social justice, and faith. Help us support our community.
We are part of one of the largest LGBTQ+ nonprofit media companies in America, HOTspots Magazine and Happening Out Television Network.
In 2024, our magazine is celebrating 40 years of the LGBTQ+ experience and our television news. Talk and entertainment shows support our mission to educate the LGBTQ+ and broader community.
Let's meet tonight's fabulous anchors at Queer News Tonight. Let's welcome Adrianna Tender, the program coordinator with Trans Inclusive Group and owner of Tender Loving Care Trans Mentoring. She serves on the National Board of Governors of the Human Rights Campaign and is vice president of the Dolphin Democrats and on the board of Black LGBTQ Liberation. Adrianna, it's always good to see you. Love you, my gal pal. The Dolphin Democrats are hosting their 42nd anniversary awards gala at the Westin in Fort Lauderdale on May 18th. 42nd anniversary is iconic. Tell me more about it.
Well, you know, this is an election season.
Yes.
So this is an election year.
Important.
It's very important that we go and we support everything that's Democrat. And since the Dolphin Democrats is having a gala, you have to come and support us. 100% of the proceeds from this gala is going to the Get Out the Vote. Oh. So I would hope that each one of you will be there and invite your friends. I can't wait to see you. It's going to be exciting.
I will plan our transportation. We're all going as a team.
Yes.
Let's welcome anchor Jeff Oliverio. He is a financial advisor and certified financial planner with Truist Wealth in Fort Lauderdale. Jeff is one of the founders and president of the Hollywood LGBTQ+ Council. He has served as co-chair for the National LGBTQ+ Task Force Gala since 2021. Jeff, it's always nice to see you. The National Task Force will be marching for equality during this very important election year, which we just touched upon, at the Miami Beach Pride Parade on April 14th. Tell me a little bit more about it.
It's been a part of the task force. Again, is a national organization, but they have a great presence here in South Florida with the Gala and Winter Party Festival, which just ended. So we'll have a lot of our volunteers. Both of those events are managed by volunteers primarily and the event staff, and we're going to be participating in Miami Beach Pride.
I'm surprised that anyone's still awake from Winter Party, that they've recovered.
Yes, it was a week full of events. But as Adrianna just said, the focus for this year, again, will be on the Queer the Vote campaign from the task force to encourage queer voters to get out to the polls and to vote your interests. So we'll be out there handing out merchandise and task force related stuff and cheering on everybody in the Pride Parade.
Fabulous. I feel like this is not going to be the last time we touch upon how important this election year is, so just get ready to hear it a few more times. Let's welcome anchor Lexi Goza. She is the chair of the Greater Miami LGBTQ Chamber of Commerce's Women's Empowerment Council, the secretary of the LGBTQIA Advisory Board for the City of Miami Beach, the founder of PFLAG Melbourne, and owns a State Farm insurance agency in Miami, just to name a few things, honey. Lexi, so nice to meet you.
You too.
The National Eden Pride parties are coming to Miami, and Lexi Goza State Farm is a sponsor at the Palace April 13th. Do you need a co-host? Let me know. Tell me what's happening with that. Tell me more.
So, Eric, I'm a huge supporter of all lesbian events, and I love to sponsor these types of things. Obviously, Chicky Lulu is hosting, and we are doing a lesbian takeover of the Palace on Pride weekend, and we'll have DJ Dimples there spinning. So I'm super, super excited to be part of this event.
Honey, we need more lesbian events all over South Florida. It's not going to be the last time you hear me say that here. Let's welcome Ashley Figueroa. She is the consulting deputy director at Adrianna Center and was honored with the Empower Her Trans Trailblazer Award 2024, which is massive, everyone watching at home. Ashley, it is so nice to have you here for your first time. Congratulations on your Blazer Award. Tell me more about your involvement at the Adrianna Center, if there's anything this week coming up. What's going on?
Yes, absolutely. On Friday, we will be having a in commemoration of Transgender Day of Visibility. We will be having a leadership summit that will take place from 6 to 8:30 p.m. And the day before, we'll be gathering with our sisterhood organization, Trans Inclusive, for the event that they will be having as well for during the same time at the Pride Center.
And then where can they, website-wise, where can we find out more information?
More information on Facebook pages, Adrianna Center, and also on our website at adrianna-center.org.
Fabulous. We're so happy you're here with us. It feels like just everyone is we're all part of one big family at this table.
Of course.
Yes.
You're happy to be here.
Good.
Yeah.
And of course, this is tonight's lead anchor, Eric Restivo. Eric is well known for DJing at some of the largest clubs in West Hollywood and has had residencies in LA, P-Town, and New York City. And now we're gracious to have him here in Wilton Manors. He is the new host of the W Boys, focusing on LGBTQ plus love for entertainment. The show is broadcast every Friday. Eric, I have to say, I got to watch your interview with Darren, and it was amazing. I got to see the first episode. So congratulations to you. So tell us some more about and what you have something coming up with Sunshine Cathedral.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the W Boys is like the most organized, chaotic mess I've ever had in my whole life. It's so much fun. The behind the scenes is just as crazy as the filming. You should just see the text that I have between John and Al. But we're really, really set on creating an entertainment show that is focused from an LGBTQ plus point of view. You know, it doesn't exist. And we bring in a slew of different hosts who are power players in this community. And we want everyone's point of view, and we want everyone to keep watching so we can have a season 2. And then also I did just want to spotlight Sunshine Cathedral's Easter Sunday service. Listen, you can be on a scale from 1 to 10, a 1 when it comes to what your beliefs are. And I think that it's such a great service because you don't have to necessarily believe one thing. They don't focus on old scriptures that try to hold you to a certain standard. They just welcome everyone, and it's truly a celebration of love. So if you don't have a Sunday service to attend on Easter Sunday and you're in this area, Sunshine Cathedral is the way to go. But we are the reporters, segue, honey, for Queer News Tonight. And this evening we begin with the queer headlines. The LGBTQ plus community in South Florida and across America is diverse. Our community across the world is vast, and here are the bullet points of the queer news for today. First, this evening, let's queer up HOTspots magazine. New HOTspots magazine brings you the best of LGBTQ plus culture March 28th. HOTspots magazine is celebrating 40 years with this new issue. 40 years. The magazine is part of HOTspots Happening Out, the largest nonprofit LGBTQ plus media group in America. The new issue brings several interesting features, including Miami Beach Pride as a cover story. Pride will be from April 2nd through April 14th, and you can read an in-depth interview with the renowned actor Alan Cumming as he brings Alan Cumming Uncut to the Parker. The new issue also talks about the magic of Disney on Ice, as Tiffany Barringer shares insights into Frozen and Encanto show in its 2 South Florida venues. The magazine has covered the vibrant landscape of LGBTQ plus cinema at the 41st Miami Film Festival, featuring 12 compelling different films. There is an informative feature on the International Gay Polo Tournament returning to Wellington on April 4th. You have access to Maria Espinal's guide to the hottest eateries and bars in South Florida in our feature, Hot Eats. The issue has all the details you need and more on Miami Beach Pride 2024 with an exclusive interview with the fabulous Jessica Wilde from RuPaul's Drag Race. There's an interesting feature by Leo M. Irving on Spring Music 2024. Deep Inside Hollywood by Romeo San Vicente gives you a sneak peek into what's happening in Hollywood. Apart from the above, you will have updates on upcoming local events in Out with Scott and What's Hot. You can't miss the new issue of HOTspots. It's literally everywhere in Wilton Manors. Grab your free copy on Thursday. Wow, there is so much highlighted in that story, but I first and foremost want to say that having a platform like HOTspots magazine where you can literally turn the page and there's a feature on where you should take your friends or loved one to go eat that night, to what concert you could check out, to an art installation here, to an international film festival. There's not many magazines that are showcasing that many different outlets, especially for LGBTQ plus community. So I take my hat off to you, HOTspots, and I look forward to getting my hands on the new copy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm just like so blown away that it's been 40 years. So can somebody do the math on that for me? Because I
wasn't born.
You either?
Yes.
Oh,
so
my
I
goodness.
I know the math in my
84.
head. That I know.
So I know when I moved here, kind of sort of moved here back in like 1994, I was taking a break from school and I was like, oh, let me go see what's in South Florida. I'd never gone. This is where I would get all of my news and find out where to go. I would open up that big old HOTspots magazine and I would be like, oh my God, this is where I'm going. This is where I'm going.
Yeah.
It was amazing, and it's still like that to this
And
day.
we're grateful. We're so
Yeah.
grateful.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about Miami Beach Pride. You know, it's a lot of events, and I'm glad they're covering it because, you know, people think of the Pride Festival and the parade, but they do a lot of programming. I know HOTspots will have a full schedule of everything that's going on, so check that out because there's a lot more than just the Pride Parade, which is a great fun party to go to.
Yeah.
There's 2 days of events and then a week-long festival of different programming. So check.
That's such a good
in there.
I think it's so unique because there's something for everyone in that magazine,
Yes.
you know? So that's really unique to see that, you know, it encompasses everyone.
Agreed. Yeah.
Well, let's next queer up students and youth culture. LGBTQ plus is thrown in trash as not approved. In a disturbing incident outside of Staten Island Elementary School, hundreds of books were found discarded in the trash, sparking concerns over censorship and discrimination. The boxes, labeled not approved, contain stories featuring LGBTQ plus individuals, immigrants, and people of color. East Flatbush resident Holly Spiegel brought attention to the issue after stumbling upon the discarded books and noticing sticky notes explaining why they were deemed unfit. One book, The Derby Daredevils, faced rejection for depicting a transgender dad and teenage girls with same-sex crushes, while Julian as a Mermaid was criticized for exploring gender identity. The controversy extended to titles like We Are Still Here, Native American Truths, Everyone Should Know, which was condemned for its perceived negativity towards white people, and a book about a boy on the U.S.-Mexico border criticized as being unfair. The city's education department is investigating the incident, which lacks any formal record of book challenges at the school. While parents and activists voice opposition to the apparent censorship, the controversy marks a rare instance of book banning in New York City, typically considered a bastion of liberalism. State Attorney General Letitia James has affirmed her support for LGBTQ+ rights and vowed to defend transgender individuals amid the unfolding debate. I noticed this story is recognizing New York City as a bastion for LGBTQ affirming culture. I will say, growing up in New Jersey and knowing, Staten Island is a very, very red place. It is the only borough that voted Republican in several elections. Still
to this day.
Still to this day. So, censorship is popping up, of course, in our own state here in Florida and many other states across the country. But let's not forget that it can happen anywhere, and we have to be vigilant, even though we're in a safe space, what would you consider New York, a blue and a safe space, that this could pop up anywhere. And people are feeling more affirmed to do that because of the national culture and some of the stories out there. So I think this is a good to highlight the story.
I find it so interesting that there were sticky notes on the books, like explaining why they needed to be thrown in the trash. I think that's just disgusting.
By the way,
you're right,
just to
Jeff.
showcase your water bottle.
Yes.
Can you
I
see?
read banned books.
Read banned books.
Yes.
Just grabbing Lexi's bottle.
So important.
I saw it right
so
there.
important. But Jeff, you're exactly right. Like, we have got to be vigilant because even though, like you said, New York is liberal, there are pockets that are not, right? So
Absolutely.
it can happen anywhere.
It's scary anytime something like this pops up on my feed or an update on an area where I once felt a safe space. New York, I born and raised there. I unfortunately can only think that things are going to get worse.
Yeah.
So I think, like we say with this show all the time, sharing this show, using this platform to spread awareness, using your platform at home, making your straight allies share any material that they can so that it's coming from a different point of view. We have to be the people who do the work and who seek the change. So
I love those action items. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it just really irritates me. I know as someone who came from a place in the Bible Belt of Panama City, Florida.
Ooh.
My school had everything from books about Frederick Douglass to books about Harriet Tubman and Sojourner Truth. I can't imagine not having those type of books in school now.
Yeah.
Because I believe that if you don't know your history, then you're apt to what? Repeat the
it.
history.
That's
Right.
And you're not learning from the mistakes.
that's right.
So that's just completely and utterly awful for me.
Yeah. Agreed.
It's sometimes it really does feel like we get a small win and you take a few big losses backwards.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
But we got to be the change.
That's right.
Share this.
Right.
And,
Be the change.
Yeah.
and actually do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next, let's queer up trans rights. Transgender Rights Visibility Rally will be held on National Mall March 31st. The November election holds significant implications for the transgender community. Historically, Republicans, including former GOP presidential nominee Donald Trump, have campaigned on promises that include anti-transgender policies and reduced LGBTQ+ visibility once elected. Against the probability of such a hostile backdrop, the Queer Equity Institute and the National Center for Transgender Equality are teaming up to host a national rally on the National Mall advocating for increased transgender visibility and political engagement. Scheduled for Sunday, March 31st, the Transform the Vote rally coincides with National Day of Transgender Visibility, highlighting the challenges faced by transgender individuals. The event aims to register voters, educate them on key issues, and mobilize them for the upcoming presidential election. Key speakers include Minnesota Democratic State Representative Alicia Leese Kozlowski, Minneapolis City Council member Andrea Jenkins, actress Angelica Ross, and Monica Beverly Hills from RuPaul's Drag Race. Notable activists like Sheer Avery and Merrick Jensen will also participate. World-renowned artist Casillas will create an art piece featuring rally attendees. The event will showcase art displays, performances, and booths from community organizations offering resources for voter registration and civic engagement. The Transform the Vote rally will commence on the National Mall at 11 a.m. For more information, visit transformthevote.org. This is amazing.
Amazing.
When we're sitting here thinking about all these bad stories and all these things are going on with our culture, just to think about that all of these trans people are going to be ascending on the National Mall in DC. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I think that's amazing. I think the fact that they're going to have all of this get out the vote and voter registration is, and I keep saying this is my word, y'all, amazing.
But it is, and why search for a better word when it perfectly describes the situation? To go back to the sharing on the platforms, this is going to get major media coverage.
It is.
Major. So this is a win. This feels like a win with no steps back, So this is good. I wish I could be there, to be fair.
I know. I was just thinking, I wish that I had known about it ahead of time, because I certainly would have traveled up for it. So if it becomes an annual thing, then we all got a caravan up there.
It is.
And I
it's
think
an
it's
annual
so-
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's so important to continue to show, resistance, right? Showing up and creating this type of movement to ensure that, the existence is not erased, which is really what they're trying to do.
Yes.
So I think events like this are very, very important.
Super important.
We'll be following up on that event too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think that they're doing things like this, not just in DC, but all around all over the place.
Yeah.
Because I know here at Trans Inclusive Group and Ariana Center, we're having our Transgender Day of Visibility program, and we're doing a Get Out the Vote as well.
Yes.
And there will have voter registration there. So I think it's amazing.
I'm excited too. Actually, this Sunday, I'll be in Brevard County where they're having a trans march. And I get to march with my son. So,
I just got the good goosebumps.
Didn't give it to you?
I'm so excited. I can't wait for him to see my shirt, which is a big dinosaur and a little dinosaur, and says trans mom. And then I had to have two shirts because they were both so good and they made me tear up.
So proud.
I know. And
give
the other shirt says, I'm so proud to be his mom.
Well, you're an example to follow. Thank you.
Yes.
Take a lot of pictures, please.
Will do.
We got to share them all over the place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make sure you tag Queer News Tonight.
I sure will.
Exciting.
Next, let's queer up culture. Cartoon queens are competing in new TikTok drag race parody series.
I'm done.
A whimsical twist on RuPaul's Drag Race unfolds in a vibrant new parody series on TikTok, aptly named Toon Paul's Drag Race. TikTok user at Queen of the Tooniverse brings to life 11 iconic characters from various realms of entertainment, morphing them into drag royalty. From video games to TV shows, movies, and comic books, these beloved animated personas undergo a fabulous transformation into drag legends, captivating online audiences with their charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent. As the competition heats up, the stakes are high, but the comedic flair of this TikTok parody series adds an extra layer of entertainment. Get ready to meet the eclectic contestants of Toon Paul's Drag Race universe, including familiar faces like Meg Griffin from Family Guy and Penny Proud from the Proud Family, Angelica Pickles from Rugrats, we love that, Kirby from Nintendo, Violet Parr from The Incredibles, Dora from Dora the Explorer, I can't wait to see that, Raven from Teen Titans, Donald Duck from Disney, Kida from Atlantis, The Lost Empire, and Aang from Avatar, The Last Airbender, and Phineas from Phineas and Ferb. Cartoon queens and TikTok drag race seem to be a perfect competition for the RuPaul drag empire. I am so excited for this. For them to bring back some of these characters that we haven't seen in a while and put them in drag just makes my life complete.
This is what I want on my For You page for my TikTok.
Yes.
I don't love TikTok. I love this.
Right? Exactly.
I'm like, why are they all eating right now? I'm like, I didn't see Angelica, so I'm going to have to go back. But
I was already casting who else I think should be on this.
Right?
Wasn't there like a sassy Smurf that I was like, that was in there? I don't know what Smurf it was. I was thinking, there's a lot of cartoon characters that will be so good on this.
Yes.
Smurfette.
Right.
She could be a drag king.
I don't know who that was with the black chick with the
With the
white
cut.
hair.
Yeah, the cut.
And then all the
Who is that
extras.
cut?
I don't
Yes.
know, but she was fabulous.
Who's
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Who is she? I love her.
Love her.
We love
I
her.
want to be either version of her.
Right. Hashtag life goals.
Yes.
More of this, please, TikTok.
Yeah.
More of this.
Next, let's queer up the USA view. New study reveals the safest LGBTQ plus friendly cities in America. For LGBTQ plus individuals, travel planning goes beyond choosing a destination and lodging. Amidst the recent anti-transgender and anti-non-binary legislation, safety while traveling matters a lot too. Here's the results of some of the friendly and popular LGBTQ plus friendly cities in the U.S. First on the list is Burlington, which is celebrated for its vibrant LGBTQ plus culture, including Zero Gravity Craft Brewery, which offers a welcoming space for the community. Asheville, North Carolina, which is home to landmarks like O. Henry's, the oldest gay bar in the state. Across the country, Seattle is known for its social tolerance, and Wild Rose endures as one of the last 27 lesbian bars nationwide since founding in 1984. Meanwhile, Atlanta boasts My Sister's Room, a beloved lesbian bar established in 1996. Chicago stands as a sanctuary for the LGBTQ plus community despite being located in a conservative state. Renowned for its inclusivity, the Florida Keys proudly embraces diversity with their official motto, One Human Family. Meanwhile, Idlewild, California hosts an annual Pride Festival and offers a venue tailored for queer weddings, fostering a sense of belonging and celebration. Embracing individuality, Portland, Oregon beckons with the slogan, Keep Portland Weird, boasting a curated queer-friendly guide on its travel site. Apart from the cities above, you can also visit Eureka Springs in Arkansas, NYC, Taos in New York and New Mexico, Nashville, Guerneville in California, Kansas City, and St. Petersburg in Florida. While not scientific, the list is interesting. Of course, we have to mention Wilton Manors, Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, Orlando, and Miami. So I see Key West on there. I have heard amazing things and how it's so affirming and welcoming of everyone. So that's definitely great to see it on the list.
I love to see bars that have been around for a long time and that have history that we know nothing about being spotlighted in smaller towns maybe or different areas of the world. I thought the My Sister's Room was so chef's kiss because it said Mr. and then there was an S in the middle to break up the Mr.
yes.
So love. I was like, oh, I see you. I'm going to that bar. But it's nice because you often think that, especially here in Wilton Manors, we're in our own little bubble a lot of the times, right? Which is why this show is great too. We learn about things that are happening outside of us, but it is nice to see other places showcasing maybe a little pride, a weekend pride. What do we feel about safety concerns in these smaller towns that are kind of distributed all over the place? Maybe the security wouldn't be as heightened as it would be here in Wilton Manors or in New York City, as opposed to wherever we just said, maybe in Oregon or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've been to a few of these places. I mean, Burlington, Vermont is such a welcoming city.
Yeah.
And such a safe city. I mean, I don't think I could think of a place that's more, friendly.
I think like snowboarding and skiing when I think of Burlington.
Yeah, and it's quirky.
Yeah.
It has like cafes and, it's small towny, but also, again, really affirming. I think the part of the story that about, safety is a concern, but I think safety is a concern here in South Florida.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
you have to be aware of where you are at any time, and none of us are immune to that person who is out to hurt us, right? So I don't think we can't live our life that way. But I do think we should live our life where we go to these places that are not known for LGBTQ culture and show up, because it puts us on the map and also support those places that are welcoming and affirming. So if you're traveling somewhere and you can take an off-beaten path and go somewhere for a weekend, I think it's a good idea. St. Petersburg, I went a couple of years ago during the pandemic and spent like the week with my son and my partner, and it was amazing. We had such a great time there. So
yeah, St. Pete's great. I've been to My Sister's Room several times in Atlanta. I lived there for a while. And hats off to them for keeping that bar open for so many years. They actually moved recently, and their new space is multi-level. It's very interesting to see how vibrant a lesbian space can be. You saw that there's only 27 left in the entire country, right? And so we're losing these spaces. And I was not aware that Seattle has one of the remaining bars. So the next time I'm in Seattle, I need to check that out. So I'm excited for that.
I mean, the next time that you go to the lesbian bar, since I've never gone to a lesbian bar, you have to take me.
Okay.
But I do think it's a big thing to think about when you think about everything that's going on here in Florida.
Yes, ma'am.
And thinking about Key West and their motto being one human family.
Yes.
That
says it all right there.
That's extraordinary.
Yes.
Says it all right
I think
there.
it's important too that we're on that list, right? Because we want to, even though we had all these legislations for our community, I think it's important to reaffirm that we still have places that are inclusive.
Absolutely.
And still come because we're still going to stand with you. You're still going to be protected and welcome. So that's
said.
important.
We should have shouted out Orlando
said.
in that list of Florida cities as well. That are very welcoming.
That's where I'm from. And
Yeah, exactly.
very
Hey,
welcoming and affirming.
Hey, Orlando.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm like maybe too welcoming with all those different people.
I was just going to say, is everybody ready for a trip to Disney?
Yes. Yes.
More of a university.
Gay Days is coming up, y'all. Girls in Wonderland.
All right. So next, we are proud of our special partnership with Sunshine Cathedral, the world's largest queer church here in Fort Lauderdale. Supporting that partnership, we are broadcasting from our permanent set here at Sunshine Cathedral at the Happening Out television studios. We broadcast Sunshine Cathedral's Sunday International service at 10:30 a.m.
We finish tonight's queer news headlines with the segment we call LGBTQ+ 1 Minute News.
LGBTQ+ 1 Minute News. Let's queer up health. Will scientists create a human embryo with DNA from two men? Recent research from Oregon Health and Science University, OHSU, unveils a groundbreaking potential for male couples to conceive biological children together. Through in vitro gametogenesis, OHSU scientists experiment with mice. The process involves transferring a skin's cell's nucleus into a donated egg and altering its chromosomes for fertilization. Dr. Shukarat Mitalupov, the study's lead, aims to provide egg options for patients facing infertility. IVG offers hope for male same-sex couples desiring biological offspring. Through advancements and promising translating to human application remains a distant prospect, pending further research and ethical considerations. The procedure could revolutionize gay couples' choice for fatherhood.
LGBTQ+ 1 Minute News. Let's queer up politics. George Santos runs for House as independent, saying the GOP is too embarrassing. George Santos, a former congressman seeking re-election, made waves by leaving the Republican Party to run as an independent for New York's 1st congressional district, criticizing the recent budget deal that the House approved for funding the federal government through September. George Santos said, open quote, After today's embarrassing showing in the House, I have reflected and decided that I can no longer be part of the Republican Party. I will take my ultra MAGA Trump supporting values to the ballot in November as an independent. End quote. He vowed to challenge Nick LaLota, the current Republican representative, and John Avion, a Democratic nominee hopeful. LaLota had previously proposed expelling Santos, adding further tension to the electoral landscape. Santos called the GOP embarrassing. Insert joke here.
LGBTQ plus 1 minute news. Let's queer up drag culture. Remembering iconic pictures of RuPaul through the years. In an exclusive interview with Out's Bernardo Sim, the iconic RuPaul delves into her latest memoir, offering readers an intimate glimpse into her life. He is also the cover star of the new Out issue. RuPaul's multifaceted career spans decades, from her breakout moment in the Supermodel music video to her iconic VH1 talk show and the ever-expanding and fabulous RuPaul's Drag Race empire. To celebrate this cultural icon, Out created a visual journey exploring a curated timeline of RuPaul's transformative images, starting from as far back as 1979 when she was just 19 years old. Pick up Out magazine and you can see the pictures at out.com.
LGBTQ plus 1 minute news. Let's queer entertainment. Heartstopper stars Kit Connor and Joe Locke tease Steamy 3rd season. Heartstopper Season 3, featuring 8 fresh episodes, is set to hit Netflix screens in October 2024. You will see Charlie, played by Joe Locke, eager to express his feelings for Nick, played by Kit Connor, while Nick grapples with addressing Charlie's mental health struggles. Heartstopper Season 3's debut episode is titled Love. The upcoming season welcomes back familiar faces, including Yasmin Finney, William Gao, Karina Brown, and others. Dara Hand joins the cast as a new character, Michael Holden, while Sebastian Croft, who played Ben, will not return. Actor Kit Connor teased the season's themes, saying, quote, "The tension is high. Sexual tension, love, it's all there."
All right, what's the scene, Kit? Okay, I'll give you the answer. Yeah. This is episode 8, so Nick and Charlie have started to get a bit more steamy. We're about to rehearse, but I'll tell you what, we are about to have a great time.
Action!
The positive reaction from season 2 has really boosted all of our confidence. I can't wait for you guys to see.
Tao is beginning to figure out what he loves to do and what his hobbies are. He's finding a passion for something that he begins to really love, and he does it to bring joy to people and to cheer up the other characters in the show.
This season we get to see a little bit more of Tori and how what Charlie has been going through has affected her, and she also makes a new friend.
The tension is high, it's like sexual tension, love, we're all there.
Wait,
Yeah?
this is content right here.
LGBTQ plus 1 minute news. Let's queer up trans rights. Media Matters survey. How can you have trans visibility without visibility? Research by Media Matters for America says that in 2023, cable news extensively covered anti-trans bills in state legislatures, but often without featuring trans voices. The report also included coverage by media organizations like MSNBC, CNN, and Fox News. Human rights campaigns count shows that over 550 anti-LGBTQ plus bills were introduced last year, with 80 enacted into law, many targeting trans individuals. Media Matters notes that coverage of these bills consistently overlooked the firsthand and perspectives of trans and gender nonconforming individuals. This lack of representation underscores the importance of inclusive reporting and the need to amplify the voices of marginalized communities in discussions surrounding legislation affecting their rights and well-being. That is today's news for the LGBTQ plus community on the world's first and only daily LGBTQ plus evening news show.
If our community is important to you, share this news with your friends and family. Are you, like most of America, part of our very large television audience watching this live LGBTQ plus news broadcast right now on Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and Amazon Fire TV?
Queer News Tonight is the only live LGBTQ plus digital television show in the world that is out of the closet and into the headlines. We need your support. If our community is to grow, we must tell our stories and bring them to the attention of the broader world.
This is the only place that in the world that tells these types of LGBTQ plus stories in motion and sound. That is the passion of HOTspots magazine, Happening Out Television Network, and Queer News Tonight.
I'm your anchor, Eric Restivo, and on behalf of these fabulous LGBTQ plus reporters, the anchors of Queer News Tonight, including Adrianna Tender, Jeff Oliverio, Lexi Goza, and Ashley Figueroa, we will see you daily at 8 p.m. And to our LGBTQ plus world, we wish you a good night.
Good night.